Hello, everybody. If you couldn't have guessed, it is the Tom Dog. And we have a very wet Japan, as you can see. It isn't very nice conditions. Um, I think from what I know of, it's full wet for both the quali and the race. So, gonna be a big test of skill and patience from these 81 drivers. We currently have 14 in the session, however, we do I think we are expecting two people to join. I'm not sure who, but yeah. Jacob at the bottom has crashed out. Um, so I don't know what corner because I don't know what number it is, but he has crashed out. Smaller goes fastest for the time being with 42.7, and Avenicus trumps that with a 42.3 in the Mercedes. Um, who is next coming to line? It is NRT Frog. And I'm sure for Frog's first Japan race of this week, he will be absolutely loving it. These conditions. You can probably tell the sarcasm. You can probably tell the sarcasm in my voice there. Frog coming to the line then goes fifth fastest for the time being, 44.4. And we may see some bigger gaps for the time being while people just get to grips with the track. 10 does a 41.9. And yeah, as people just get used to the track, they need to learn where the grip is, how much we can use with the tyres, and how much confidence they probably have through each corner. Who is on that? I think ayahuasca in the Alpine. Looking very nice with them wet tyres. It does look extremely satisfying with the wet tyres on. And the blue was a little bit wide going through Spoon. Probably lost him a little bit of time there. Going up to the famous corner then of 130R. We'll see if he can do it flat. I'm not sure if it is flat. Then going into the triangle chicane, I think it's called, but I'm not sure. That's the line then. The ninth fastest for the time being. Deflated wheat is on a lap time now. Just a little lift through 130R. Little bit of a wiggle for the final corner as well and goes fourth fastest for the time being. Behind for AlphaTauri, Greg with a decent lap. Who else is on a lap? Let's have a look. Venicus is currently a second up, so the track time is definitely improving. Venicus comes to the line and trumps 10-10 with a 41.2. who else is on that? I'm not sure many people will be doing much lap times as there is only 14 in Q1. Aya coming to the line. He's 2.5 seconds up. Oh, massive wiggle in. And just goes behind his teammate. We'll have a look at Jellyman Tim. Jellyman Tim with some decent results. In that isn't ideal for the way you want to start your lap. Yeah, Jellyman doing some decent results in recent weeks. I can't remember what he's got, but he's definitely had some decent results. Runs a bit wide there to the start of his lap. A couple of mistakes so far for Jellyman. But like I say, it needs to get used to the track and to know what the conditions are like. Pod camper Jacob is knocked out, yeah, because he terminally crashed out. So lots of wiggles so far for Jellyman. You'd think Wiggles was in the session at the minute. Looks to have got decently through Spoon there. Little bit of sliding on the exit there. Through the chicane he goes in. Let's see what he can do. Coming up to the line. And goes 8th for the time being. Inos is on that. And he comes to the line. There's P2 ahead of his teammate, which I'm sure he'll be pretty happy with. See what Josh does compared to his teammate. Only 9th fastest for the time being, so maybe just either getting into it or just a conservative lap for the time being for Josh. Aya retires in the pit lane. And we've seen quite a few of that so far, as everyone will get through. However, people may just want to do some more laps just to get the confidence building up. See if Padge is improving. He's using the RS, so he will be. Yeah, it's currently 7-10%. Needs a bit more if he wants to go up in position. Through the final corner to the line. And it does improve by 90, but just not enough at the time being to bump him up any positions. Jellyman comes into the pits. Oh, and Josh has crashed out. He's crashed terminally on the exit of Spoon. And that is crucial for this title fight. And the TD curse carries on. And if you don't know what the TD curse is, every time I have commentated so far this season, Josh hasn't scored points. And he has now permanently crashed out of Q2. I mean Q1, which I'm sure he won't be happy with. See what Frog's doing. He's a second and a half up. So I currently put him into P9. Oh, and a massive wiggle there. And not lost him. Shot a couple of attempts, but still does go over P9. Padge is retired in the pits, and Bug isn't improving. So that should be the end of Q1. And we will only have 12 in Q2 as Jacob and Josh both have crashed out. At the end then, Avenicus setting the fastest time, starting us in P2, Tenton in P3, Greg in P4 and defeated in P5. Smaller in P6, Hubcamp P7, that guy P8, Bug P9, Jellyman in rounded out with top 10, Iron in 11th, 12, Padge in 12th, Josh in 13th then because of his crash, and Jacob in 14th with his crash as well. So it will only be 12 in Q2. Oh, oh, and Josh is still in it. Oh, I expected Josh to be knocked out. Oh, and we are on the Intis now as well. Josh is in this session. Bit of a shock, but good to see it in it. So Cod Camper is the first one out. Oh, and I've just seen on the stream, Jellyman having a big moment. Oh, I am tired. You see what camper can do then. Looking a lot nicer through the S section so far. Some slight wiggles at the minute, but nothing too much that'll affect his time. And he goes with 40.2. Man going in P2. See what who's next? Is it Greg? Yeah, Greg's the next one. It says purple middle sector. Whether that's true or not, I am not sure. Looking a lot nicer through that final corner. And he does go fastest with a 39.6. I think that's the first man into the 39s today. I think we only had 40s in Q1. The track is definitely getting better. Aya coming to the line. And goes second fastest, just slightly behind Greg. Bogman, 21.0. I think that's, from what I remember, close to what Greg did. Camper going 3 tenths above Greg. Let's see if Frog can get close. Oh, just invalidates just on the final part of the chicane, and that ruined his that time. Oh, with a little mistake into the pits as well. Telemann goes fastest with 39.1. Oh, and Avenicus is invalidated straight away. So it'll be deflated next to lose that. Going through spoon curve. Looking lovely through there at the minute. Oh, a little bit of a snap on exit. Not too much harm, but 19.9. I think that's currently quite good time. I haven't seen anyone into the 19s little bit slidey through the first part, locking the rears. However, did get through it quite well. It's a 38.0, and that, I think, is a bit of track improvement. However, also an impressive lap from Deflated. We'll have a watch of 10-10. Third in the championship at the minute. Probably wanting to try and gain some points on Josh and Deflated. Into the final chicane he goes then. He is slightly down on Deflated at the time being. However, should go back above Jellyman. Oh no, makes a lot of time in that final sector. And goes fastest. If Deflated is going for it again. Deflated is going for it again. 4 attempts up on his lap time. Oh, and just sneakily behind 10-10. And America's trumps 10-10, showing his impressive speed from Q1 into Q2. And going first by 3.5 tenths. See who else is on our lap. I think smaller will be the next one. Just a quick thing for you all, because Josh did crash out in Q1. He shouldn't exactly be able to race at the minute, so Josh won't be able to take part. Smaller goes fourth. Fog is on the lap. Currently a 20.3 through the middle sector. Was designed to go 7th fastest, so above his teammate for the time being. However, there are still Steinos and Padge to set a lap. And the rain is easing up slightly. I'm not sure whether it's going to dry up before the end of the race. End of qualifying, but it is lightening up quite a bit. Ooh, and small slightly just going for a little spin. See what Steinos can do, and he had good pace in Q1. Icovenicus deflated up at the top. But we'll see what he can do for Q1. I mean Q2. Hello, Snipes. I didn't even notice. I haven't been looking at chat, to be honest. So the first sector for Venetus is decent. Into the hairpin. Looks to sweep it nicely through a little bit of a wobble. Shouldn't affect him too much. Through middle sector at 18.5. And that is very impressive.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, my watch is talking to me. Oh dear. I don't know why my watch is talking to me. But Steiner said, to the line. And just go fastest. By 8 tenths. Patches a lot. 19.8, so currently 1.3 down on Stylus, which will put P7 at the minute. This is a bit of time and goes P8, but Small goes P2. With that time for Small. Fog isn't improving, as is Iago. Iago goes P2. Very impressive that by Iago. Podcamper goes to P3. I think 1010 may be under a little bit of pressure if a couple of people can get a good lap time in. See what Jellyman does. Jellyman goes third. That pushes 1010 down to 9th. We need to see what both the Alpha Tauris are doing. Because this could be another title contender out in Q2. Greg is 1.2 seconds up. So I think this might be 1010 down to 10th at the minute. Greg going to the line with the Verstappen helmet in an Alpha Tauri. Goes to P4. And what is Padge doing? Oh, Padge is 6.5 down. So that will be 1010 just about sneaking through. By the skin of his teeth. Got very lucky. But you need that luck sometimes. Anyone else into the Cup Camp is invalidated. Jellyman isn't improving and Ida isn't improving as well. But yeah, Steinos, P1. Nice one. See if you can bring it into Q3. Well, Cup Camp is just left there. Oh, and Top Gun's here. That's good to see. The man who always starts last. Can he make it up to another podium? It'll be hard, obviously, because he was... Hello. Who is this man? We have never heard this man before.
Yes.
Who are you? Identify yourself.
I'm Chuck Norris.
Ah, yeah. Chuck Norris is in the building, boys and girls.
Yeah, sorry chat. The stream was a bit delayed. Something happened immediately before the stream was due to start, so needed to deal with that. Took a bit longer than I thought, but I've been here flicking the drivers. Does that sound rude?
Yeah, it does.
It sounds a bit rude. I'm flicking their shoulder.
Flicking the RT stick up and down the drivers.
Yes.
There you go.
So yes, last week at Singapore you missed. Well, if you did miss it, you missed an eventful one. We can officially say that the race was voided. In case you don't know what that means, the result didn't count.
I kind of forgot about that, to be honest.
It was a bit of a whirlwind. There were some glitches, some horrible ones. People were affected pretty nasty by it, and we discussed after the race, and it just seemed a bit too obvious to us. So yeah, Singapore's results last week didn't count. The standings are as they were, so Deflated leads Josh by 20 or so points, I think, going into this race. Thank you, TD, for covering for me for a bit. I appreciate that.
I was trying to think of a thing that Spark used to say, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, always a pleasure, never a chore. There we go.
Oh dear.
Spark is my inspiration.
Good evening, Demon. How are you doing?
Oh, why is he here?
What goat?
I tell you why he's here now. Because he didn't want to hear me commentating just on my own. But while you've come back, he's come and joined. Isn't that right, Damon?
We were talking about Commentator's Curse and how I always say it's not real. It does seem to... there is some kind of weird stuff going on with your commentary and Josh's results. I don't understand.
Every single time that I've commentated, Josh has not scored points.
Because Josh doesn't listen to the stream mid-race, so he won't really have any indication about what you're saying or anything. It's just it's just a weird thing that happens.
I'm just a bad luck child. Anyway, because I've been commentating for Q1 and Q2, Tech is on the lap with 10 in the dry now rather than the wet.
Yeah, so this is going to be very interesting now regarding people's setups. We are expecting a very wet race as well, so I imagine everyone will be going with a wet setup, which will make Q3 interesting. Did anyone go for a hybrid setup? Did anyone go for a full dry setup? These questions will be answered in the next 9 or so minutes, because those on the dry setups will tend to be a little bit quicker in this session.
I know that 10-10's got a little bit more downforce than what he had on Tuesday. So, interesting to see.
It's not like the wings and the dry conditions on this track are relatively low anyway. My front wing was 40 on Tuesday night, so it's not exactly the end of the world if people are running a more downforce heavy setup.
I'll say what mine was, but I can't remember. So.
Josh saying the curse is in quali today, race is gonna cook.
It never cooks when I commentate on you.
The
I'll
only
tell you
thing
what,
is,
the only thing that is cooking at the minute is my Chinese.
the only people that are going to be cooking tonight is
The Chinese stop bringing my Chinese.
what do I want to say? The pit engineers fixing all those front wings that are bound to be broken tonight.
Plenty of pit stops.
Oh, Steinos
Oh dear.
clarted the wall out of Spoon. Very fortunate
Very
to
lucky to
still
stay in.
be in the session. He's channeling his who crashed there on Tuesday? I can't remember. Someone crashed there Tuesday. Miklos crashed there Tuesday, thank you.
Josh also crashed there today, so.
And yes, not the easiest corner by any stretch of the imagination. I was doing some practice before the race tonight, and safe to say in the dry it's tricky enough as it is.
Yeah, it's a very tricky corner.
There's a front wing already. Demon.
Oh, Annika's fastest.
Yeah, nice lap. Can deflate it, beat it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes he can. Very nice.
That would have been very bad if you said that before he actually crossed the line and he didn't beat it.
Well, now is a perfect opportunity for Deflated to set up his race beautifully here. He's already done the hard part, getting that round one punch in to go provisional pole, but he leads Josh by 20 points there or thereabouts in the championship, and with only 7 races remaining, including this one, if Deflated can outscore Josh here by maybe 10 or 20 points, it's looking pretty good for him. 6 races to go, 40-point lead, something like that. You would definitely put odds on. Odds are in Deflated's favour.
If anyone knows, Deflated always seems to struggle for some reason on his second lap. So we'll just have to keep an eye on him. I'm sure Evanicus will have half a tenth in his lap.
As things stand, there is only 3 contenders for provisional pole based on their opening runs. I would say maybe Steinos could be up there in the top 5. Frog's done really well to get through into Q3. He's been struggling this season. So nice to see both McLarens in there. Generally speaking, they qualify outside of the top 10, so both in the top 10. Really good qualifying from McLaren. I'll need to start working out TD the Constructors' Championship as well, because I know Red Bull lead by just shy of 200 points.
That was a really close battle. I'm pretty sure we've won it.
Sorry, I was trying to actually understand what you just said, and I was like, it's not close. What are you on about? And I realised you're being sarcastic.
Mate, you should know me by now.
I don't know why it took me that long. So yes, we'll have to get the calculator out and start working out the maximum amount of points.
I will get the calculator out.
Don't forget the 15 available sprint points as well for the constructors. Yes, because that's just what makes it trickier. If anyone wants to work out 6 times 43 plus, I think it's 3 times 15, then that's how many points are on offer.
6 rounds left?
After this one, yeah. So at the moment there's 7 rounds.
1, 2, 3.
I think we've got 3 sprint races left.
7 times 44.
Qatar, Brazil, and
USA.
And USA, thank you.
Right, they haven't quite
303, says Scott Camper. You're good at maths, mate.
wrong.
Oh, was it wrong?
Yeah,
So it's
353.
353. Okay, so we're a good 2 or 3 races away from getting to that point where we can crown a constructor. Steinos, nice lap there. Goes within a tenth of his teammate. 10-10. Could be a good showing from Haas tonight. As we're talking of constructors. Ten though, coming to the end of a lap. Needs... Oh, and he backs out. He's into the pits.
I am not sure whether Tintin's going to get back out.
He'll get back into the garage with about 2 minutes left, so if he's super quick, he might be able... If he cooks on his outlap, he might be okay. But he needs no traffic, and... yeah, just a bit of luck on his side.
He's only just getting wheeled into the pits, and you can give about 10 seconds in the pits. So it'll be about 1 minute 45, so I highly doubt it, to be honest.
Of course, everyone has 3 or 4 full sets of soft tyres, because
5.
or 5, depending if they've chosen the balance setup or whatever, a balanced tyre strategy even, because with the rain in Q1 and Q2, the soft tyres have not been used at all. He's backed off his lap, so that is the end of Eye. Frog, P5 by the way, what an effort. He has retired early.
Steinos is done for qualifying.
1 minute to go. Venicus on an outlap.
I think Aya backed off his lap to go for it again, so...
Oh,
And
excuse
he
me.
is. I'll have a watch of the top 2.
Ten says, I've messed up 2 final Q3 runs this week. 10 is the new deflated.
So basically what he's done both times this week is he's missed going out on his final run.
So the person to watch... Oh, I was
Oh,
about to say the person to watch right now is Venicus. But before I could say anything, he's had a bit of a spin. So that doesn't constitute a commentator's curse. So, God Camper.
That means there's only 5 people now. No, 4 people that can challenge deflated.
And all of them are in the bottom 5 right now. So
Yep.
it's looking good for
That's why I've
deflated.
been loving that.
Imagine if this is the one race that he manages to get a good second Q3 lap in.
He's half a tenth up at the minute. Cod Camper is improving. I will have a watch of the others.
It'd be interesting to see who comes out on top with the battle of the McLaren lads.
Cod Camper's half a tenth up still, so it's going to be extremely close between the 2.
Well, as it stands, Cod Camper will beat his teammate by 15 milliseconds. So there is nothing separating them at the moment. And moment of truth, will it be Cod or Frog? It's going to be Cod with a 5.55. That's very nice indeed.
What's Deflated doing? Deflated currently 5 tenths up on his lap
Half
time.
a second. He's cooking.
We'll be matching what John did.
Oh, that's that's not a bit beaten.
I need to have a look at something quickly. I think he may have done exactly the same lap time as John did on Tuesday.
Are you serious? Avenicus crossed the line with no improvement. We already knew that after the spin at turn 2. Jellyman, nice lap there, goes P5, but it is Deflated's quali session, and leading the championship, he's seeing his teammate and championship rival Josh exit in Q2 due to crashing out in Q1. And in the Suzuka Sunshine, Deflated takes pole position. Avenicus on the front row, and all Haas row 2 of 1010 and Steinos. Jellyman Tim gets the better of the Alfa Romeo McLaren battle. Camper Frog in an Alfa Romeo sandwich. Smaller Smiley propping that Alfa Romeo sandwich in P8. Greg in 9th place, and Aya in the Alpine in P10.
He beat John by 7 thousandths of a second.
Wow. So that is officially the fastest quali time we have seen this week. And I say this week, Tom, because 82 is back on Sunday.
Woo! More carnage!
I didn't think I would miss it as much as I did, to be honest. It felt just so weird not being in a lobby on Sundays. But
So you do it, bloody complain about 82.
I've never complained about my own tier. What are you on about?
You bloody liar. I can smell the amount of poo coming from your bumhole right now.
Deflated bottled the final chicane. A 0.4 was on the cards. Well, we just didn't need to say that.
0.6. Just shush. You got a 0.6. You got the fastest time. Just shush.
Let's do another feature driver.
Woo!
Right.
How is gonna drive?
So, you have 2 choices, Tom.
Oh.
Well, you have 3, but
Oh.
you're not racing, so I shouldn't really cover you.
Oh.
Maybe at the end of the season, if you're on comms, I'll read out your form.
I might have to do a race now just so that you can read my comments in my thingy. I can't actually remember what I put on it, to be honest with you.
The choices are Josh or Avenicus.
Josh, because he's basically last.
Gonna dry up in the race as Deflated. That is something to remember.
I tell you when you can read mine. You can read mine in Brazil, because I'll do Brazil. I like Brazil.
Okie dokie. There we go. What? Did I click the wrong person? I did.
Oh dear.
Wow, I'm just completely...
What a poo boy.
Okay. So Josh is 19 years of age from a little place called Scarborough. I'm not exactly sure where that is, but I know it is in the UK.
It is on the east coast in Yorkshire.
Oh, up in Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Get some Tatley tea.
Of course I know that, because I am from Yorkshire, the mighty Yorkshire.
The Yorkshire sleeps tonight? No. His occupation...
Yorkshire sleeps tonight.
That's exactly what we needed on the stream tonight. Thank you, Tom. He works as a leisure assistant.
We've got 2 minutes to be up.
A leisure assistant, even, and a lifeguard. So he's channeling as in a Baywatch. His hobbies and interests include F1, football, having a good time. Fair enough, can't argue with that. He's racing on a Thrustmaster Ferrari Replica 2011 wheel. Favourite driver, Seb Vettel. I'd say probably 40% of our drivers who have done the form have said Sebastian Vettel is their favourite driver, so he's very well liked, that lad. Mexico, best track coming up in a few races' time. His racing strengths include qualifying pace strategy and clean racing. I would also add race pace into that as well. He hasn't included it, but it's just his race pace and...
Consistency.
That's his consistency, and his racecraft is second to none as well. Aiming for the championship, obviously, he is the reigning current 2-time 81 champion. No driver in the history of our league has gone 3 championships in the same tier, so Josh aiming to be the first, and he's got some weight reduction on him because he's built like a twig apparently.
I can say that I also have that, so I agree with Josh.
You're built like a twig?
Yes.
Well, if you're built like a twig, I'm built like a trunk. So,
yes.
There we go. And see if I can get Josh's stats up. Just quickly.
You have about 30 seconds.
That's right. We'll get that.
No, you have 40 seconds roughly.
It's all right. We've got it. We've got it. Okay then, Josh this is his 60th race this evening. He has 20 pole positions, so averages a pole once every 3 races. 13 race victories, 46 podiums from 59 races, ladies and gents. He really is one of the most consistent drivers that we've seen in this league. 51 points finishes, only the 4 DNFs, 2 of which have come this season, so it's not been the best season so far, and he's nearing 1,000 total points, so that'll be something to keep an eye out for in Discord when that happens. And in case you missed it last week, we have no formation lap due to all the bugs and the glitches, so we are getting underway right now. And a drive-through for oh my word, 4 people have drive-throughs.
3 of them.
4.
Both passes.
Padge, Jacob as well in 10th. Deflator's had an awful start, but to be fair, the 3 drivers who got good starts have got drive-throughs. so I guess Deflator got a decent start. And it is obviously all fully intermediate conditions. Deflated's, well, there's no rush to get past because they're going to need to serve those drive-throughs in the next 3 laps. And if I were you, Tom, or if you were me, or if you were them, if you were anyone else, what lap would you pit to serve your drive-through?
Crash into the wall.
Well, if it were me, I'd do it this lap, just in case a safety car comes out.
If I was any of the top 3, I'd pit opposite the lap that any of the top movers.
Very close battle with Cog Camper. Looking for a move up the inside of Jelly, but it's pretty much like driving at Jelly at the moment. Smaller Smiley here could be in for a really good result. Smaller generally tends to be a little bit better in the race than in qualifying, so a
It looks
P7
so wet as well, and he loves this track.
So P7 right now. Smaller Smiley could be aiming for a podium right now. Okie doke. Enjoy your Chinese. Smaller looking for a move up Cod, but no move working. Deflated is past Steinos, but Steinos is in the pits to serve that drive-through. In my opinion, that is a very wise call. There's a big fight going on here. 2 Alpines, an Alfa Romeo and an Alpha Tauri, as Greg has got a fantastic exit out the final corner and has passed Smaller into P6. Don't forget, it might dry up towards the end of this Grand Prix, so drivers will be, I'm sure, changing some bits on their MFD. Maybe their brake bias they might be changing, maybe their differential, maybe the amount of front wing they've got. If it dries up, they might turn the front wing down a little bit. So there's a little bit of freedom these drivers have in what setups they're on at the moment. Let's have a look then at, after the first lap of this race, let's have a look at the opening positions gained. Obviously Steinos with that drive-through, that is exactly why he's towards the back, as Frog has been leaped by Top Gun. Oh, and off the track and out of the race goes Jellyman Tim. You saw it in the foreground. He was having a great start. There's a full course safety car, and this is exactly what I mean. Serve that drive-through immediately, because if a safety car comes out, you can't serve it. So now Avenicus, 1010 and Jacob cannot pit to serve that drive-through this lap. They could change their tyres, but there's no point because the race has just already started. So this, to be honest, is horrendous news for Avenicus, 1010 and Jacob. Avenicus and 1010, I'm sure, will have been hoping to stay out as long as they can and maybe try and build a gap so that when they serve their drive-through, they're not too far behind. But that strategy has been quashed here and now, and the safety car is out. It will have to remain out for a full lap, so it's come out on lap 3. It will be in at the end of lap 4. Oh wow, Jellyman running 28.22 wings. Wow. I mean, that's pretty low for dry conditions, let alone the wet. So I'm not too sure what happened there, Jellyman, whether you purposely run that setup, or maybe you just forgot to change the wings slightly. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's definitely very low wings considering the context of this Grand Prix. But as frustrating as it is to be out on lap 1, I guess you can head off and do your own thing for a bit instead of having the stress of a league race to worry about. Because right now, these conditions are not great. Full concentration, even under safety car conditions, is needed. The strategy was people can't pass in the first sector, so with those wings they'd have no chance on the back straight. That is not a bad strategy call, if I'm honest. It's just sometimes if you make a mistake in that first sector, it might give someone an opportunity. That's the only risk with it. But as I say, I'm not the one driving out there, so your strategy choice is completely valid. Just needed dry conditions, pushed your luck in the rain. So sometimes you've got to push the luck to get a good result, you know. High risk, high reward, that kind of thing. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes yeah, sometimes it just doesn't quite work out. It's hopefully next week will be better for you. Next week, just having a look what we have. We are in Qatar for a sprint race. So another high downforce, high wing track. A lot of flat out conditions. As we round off the season, we have 7 races to go, including this one tonight. Sunday night, 82 is back.
What have I missed?
Jellyman had a bit of a wobble out of Spoon and then got on the grass and had another wobble and went into the wall and retired. So that is unfortunate, but it was running 28.22 wings. So Steinos managed to serve his drive-through, but Venicus 1010
You
and
called
Jacob,
it, basically.
I did call it. It just seems to be the most logical thing. I know why they stayed out, to try and build a gap, and then when they do pit, it will filter them back somewhere near the pack. I understand that, but if it was me, I'd be pitting lap 1 to get that gone.
I've got my Chinese by the way, so I am all perfect for now.
I can't read that comment, Jellyman. I assume you're joking, but I hope you enjoy your whiskey. Safety car is in this lap, so
Not whiskey.
Avenicus and 1010, I imagine, will be diving straight into the pit lane. Just depends on how many laps they can stay out.
Oh, I've just seen what he put at the end of that.
Good, so I'm glad you're joking. Oh, Avenicus, bit of a slide, almost collides with the pit entry wall. They can stay out to complete another lap, but I imagine Avenicus and 1010 will be in this lap to serve their drive-throughs. Deflated effectively leads this Grand Prix. Oh, and Avenicus goes a little bit too deep into turn 1. Doesn't get that car slowed as quickly as he can. Deflated here. If he can get past Avenicus, that would be good for him, because then he can start to build a gap on the drivers behind. We've got some pretty capable people in the top 10. Greg, Smaller, that guy, Aya, Josh, Top Gun right now. Got Camper up in P4. Doing really well.
Yeah, better call P2 for Camper now. I don't think Camper's ever had a podium either, so I'm sure he'll be loving it.
I can confirm for you in a second. Camper has got one podium to his name, so it will be podium number 2.
I tell a lie. Oh, Deflated and Avenicus getting side by side.
Yeah, let's go on board with Deflated and see how he manages this, because I imagine 1010 Avenicus will be in this lap, otherwise they will get disqualified from this race. Oh, a little bit wide from Deflated at 130R, even with that small lift.
Possibly a warning.
Yeah, it could be a warning to note. 1010 in the pits. Avenicus stays out.
Did it come out on lap 6?
Yeah, so he stayed out.
That's why. So he's got
Right.
2 laps.
So this is
He
the
has to come
last.
in with that.
Okay. This is officially the last lap. Because they completed lap 1, then they completed lap 5. So he has to come in this lap. Jacob's in this lap as well. And Josh is going backwards and he's had a spin at turn 3. And he's lost the front wing.
Safety car.
Just a yellow... Oh yeah, it's a full safety car. We haven't got safety car words on our screen, but it is a full safety car.
Yeah,
And
he's a
again,
full safety car, though.
this has bitten Avenicus in the butt cheeks. Because if he served that drive-through this lap, he would effectively be 14th or 15th and at the back of the fields. But now he's going to lose 20 odd seconds doing that drive-through when the race resumes. So 1010 and Jacob have got very fortunate with this new safety car. Steinos, by the way, is back up into 9th after serving that drive-through, so he's been making some progress in the last couple of laps.
I'm just thinking about when Josh and TD came.
It's not a...
It happened again.
You weren't really speaking, you were eating Chinese.
It's because I'm in the problem spots.
Really, you should be eating sushi tonight.
No, Chinese is better.
To any Japanese people watching, TD doesn't mean that.
I do.
The Japanese are a lovely bunch of people.
Oh, equal.
Although I'm not a fan of sushi, I don't like raw food.
Equal people, however, Chinese food over Japanese food any day of the week.
And people are
Ooh,
boxing
they've got
onto dry
They've got
tyres.
some dry tyres.
So Avenicus is pitted to try and serve that drive-through. Or has he?
Yeah, I think it's a bit practical.
Everyone's boxing on... Well, not everyone, but half the drivers are boxing onto... So they must know that the rain is going to clear up very soon.
It stopped raining, so it's a good decision.
Is it
I think.
officially stopped, or...?
Yeah, stopped raining completely.
It's officially stopped, so one of those to pit was deflated. He's onto the hard compound for the rest of the race. Avenicus is on
It's really another
mediums.
safety car.
So is Smaller Smiley, Joseph, Padge and Josh. So they're hoping that those mediums can get to the end. Remember, the track's pretty green right now. And that's not just
I
because
don't
the
think
tyres...
Deflated will be liking it very much at the minute.
No, the biggest challenge for Deflator will be getting those hard tyres up to temperature. Because he's got Smaller Smiley behind on mediums, he's quick, and we've got Frog on the soft compound tyre. 1010's also going for a soft compound, so he'll need to make another pit stop onto some mediums, I imagine.
I imagine Jacob wants to go to the end as well.
So safety car will have to stay out the rest of lap 7, and I imagine it'll be in at the end of lap 8. It's just one of those races where because it's a difficult track and now difficult conditions, a lot of mistakes are going to be made, which means that, well, anyone could finish anywhere, to be honest. The top 6 have all gambled staying on the intermediate tyre. Maybe they don't think the track is going to dry that quickly. Effectively, they've got one more lap. Will any of these top 6 pit? Yes, Top Gun and Steinos pit.
Ooh, get close to contact.
You are allowed to overtake in the pit lane, but I'm not sure at
Just have to be
Japan
careful.
in these conditions it's the wisest move.
Both on mediums. Oh, it's Dinosaur gets in front. What a pit stop by the Haas Prix. Oh well, we're 10 come out to Scotland. Just behind.
JJ, sorry, I've missed. There's been too much on-track stuff happening recently. Is 28-22 really that low? I didn't do much more, and I was slow on the straights against AI. The AI differed. The AI are weird. They run weird setups. So,
Put it this way. For Singapore last week, the standard setup that it picks is increased downforce. Not even maximum, increased. So around Singapore, they're wing 36, 36.
yeah. So the AI are difficult to judge on. It's what you feel comfortable on, JJ. If you feel that is the best setup for you, then no one can argue with that. That is the setup for you. But personally, myself, I run a lot higher wings. But that's just me.
To give you a rough estimate, JJ, people generally run around the 30s, the extremely low 40s. Just to give you a rough estimate.
This league is no strangers to drivers who have chosen different setups, gone for something a little bit different. D-Tom was possibly the most high caliber driver in this league who has done that.
So very good.
Is in. Questions now are obviously when will Camper go for it, and are his tyres up to temperature? Very tentative out the final corner, but he has gone for it. Oh, and someone's in the barrier. It's a Venicus. And he's not served his drive-through.
Oh my. He needed to come in that, that's why.
Yeah, it's just careless.
Yeah. There's nothing we can do about that, that's just simply an error.
Yeah. This race has gotten underway.
Are pulling away, by the way.
Yeah, so it's not quite the crossover yet. And as quick as Deflated is, building that 1.2 second gap on Smaller immediately after the restart, it's just not working
There's too
right
much
now.
spray at the minute.
Yeah, those hard tyres are the worst tyre to be on in these conditions. Not just because it's damp on the track, but because the hards give the least amount of grip. But Josh is really struggling out there. I wonder if he's...
Padge round. Gonna
Steinos makes that move. With all this battling, they've lost 3 seconds to the gap, including Smaller, Frog and Joseph Hales, who, starting at the back, is now up to P8.
Top Gun's struggling a little bit more from the back today, and we're up to P11 at the time being.
Here comes Top Gun down the inside of Josh. Contacts, maybe? Maybe locking the rears for Top Gun. I'm not too sure what happened there, but we didn't quite have the best angle to see it. But Top Gun has to stay behind Josh. Will he be behind Will he be behind 1010? That That's the
Using
question.
like the TV that much.
Oh, and what contact? Josh and Top Gun have made contact, and Josh has gone off the track. Top Gun has not overtaken, so he's not gained an advantage, but he has lost a place to his teammate. 1010 says, thank you very much, I'm just going to go straight past you. And now Steinos will be hoping to get the hammer down and close up on Joseph. But those top four, at the moment, it's a brilliant strategy, staying out on those intermediate tyres, because they've got an 8-second gap. If they can get to like maybe 15 to 20... If they can get to 15, 20...
wanted about a 20-second gap, I reckon.
Yeah, if they can get that, then they've got a free pit stop. And then when they do pit onto onto slick tyres, they're going to have fresher tyres. So this could be a brilliant strategy call, and Greg is leading the Grand Prix. Greg has not won a race in this league yet. Today could be that day.
He's got podiums though.
He's got 6 podiums to his name in this league.
He's got more podiums than me.
I would say he's got more than me, but I unfortunately hold the record of the most podiums without a win in this league. It's bugging me.
So currently, the grid is 4.8 seconds off what Greg just did.
Can you compare their last laps? Because Greg just set the new fastest lap of the race.
4.8.
What, 4.8 seconds was the difference?
Yeah. No, 5. It's like it did a 44.7. Yeah,
so 4.8. Wow. So
Greg needs another 2-3 laps like this.
Good battle between Joseph and Frog. Joseph is past Frog. Frog was battling hard through the opening sector. Steinos has closed that 3-second gap very quickly, and is now on the back of Frog as well, hoping to leapfrog him. We'll have to put up the gap to the leader. As it stands, Deflated is 16 seconds off the lead of the Grand Prix.
So Greg's about lap 39.6.
And spinning, we have Padge just after the hairpin. Still in the race. Don't know if he has any damage. That's the two Ferraris are swapping places in 130R. That's something I should have got.
3 seconds. 3.3 seconds for difference in lap time at last lap.
Between Greg and Deflated?
Correct.
Okay. Wow. I don't want to speak too soon.
It's coming towards more towards the crossover, however.
Yeah. Deflated's only lost half a second in that first sector. So I reckon this could be the lap where the slick tyres may become the quicker tyre right now. But don't forget those intermediates are 11 laps old, so they will have some wear on them.
7/10 in the first sector for Greg.
Still needs another couple of laps like this.
I'd say he needs a good 4 seconds at the minute.
Ideally, what Greg wants is for that gap between Deflated and Smaller to grow, because then Greg can just slot in between, and after a few laps get the tyres back up to temperature. Steinos has a moment through the second part of Spoon, and who is that off the track? It's Smaller Smiley.
By the commentator.
Why have we got so many cursing moments tonight? We've had Josh, we've had Smaller, we've had a couple of others. There's a really good battle here. Joseph leads the way, has Steinos fighting for sixth.
I feel like the cut from maybe in this lap because the difference was only 1.6 seconds after that, so it's half.
Still a bit of spray though, giving Greg some hope for his first league win in IIRL, and what a win it would be.
I'm sure they'd love to put it in as well, but he obviously wants that win.
Well, Cod Camper, fair play, staying 1 second off the lead. 10-10, just cuts Degner 1 there. May have got a warning for that. But this is a really intense battle between Steinos and Joseph. Joseph earlier on the brakes doesn't want to lose the rear or make contact with Steinos. Steinos gets that move done in the hairpin. Can he start to catch deflated? 10-10 sees the opportunity now past Frog into 8th place. DRS is now enabled.
And
There's still spray. It doesn't necessarily mean that the dry tyres are quicker. We had it in Miami a couple of seasons ago where DRS was enabled, but the Inters were still the quicker tyre. Eyes onto the hard compound. That's a bit of a surprise. I would have thought maybe mediums. With only 14 laps left of this Grand Prix.
6/10 of difference for Greg and deflated last lap. I imagine both of them, all three will be in this lap.
And Eyes come out of the pits behind 10-10. So he's got...
It's not a bad position.
10-10 Joseph and Steinos ahead. All with
I think
6 or 7 laps.
About 4 seconds behind Greg.
He was, yeah.
So Greg would come out in P2 at the minute.
Yeah, he'll come out about a second and a bit ahead of Steinos.
With 7 laps fresh of tyres.
Because Ayer's pit, it's released that guy, and that guy has some pace. It seems like he was being stuck a little bit behind Ayer with those intermediate tyres on, and that guy's really closed up, so even that guy could be within a shot of winning this Grand Prix. Cod Camper could still be on with the podium. Yellow flag.
Padge just going for a spin again.
Yeah, it's just not quite been one of those races. It never rains but it pours, if you pardon the pun.
That guy's staying out. Interesting.
Greg.
Deflated did catch up on this lap.
Yeah, it was 18.8, it's now 17.3, so there's no question Deflated will come out in the lead of this Grand Prix. The question will be, can Greg stay ahead of Steinos? I imagine he will. Here comes Deflated.
It'll be tight.
As he sets a new fastest lap of the race.
I don't think that shows the guys are faster now.
And, well, Greg is
And
well
he is
clear of Steinos.
well ahead.
So, Greg has 4 seconds to make up.
That's not impossible.
It's certainly not, and Greg is by no means a slouch. He has had the most points, I believe, in a single season for Greg since IRL began. I'm questioning.
8 lap faster tyres, mediums compared to hards. Don't go Greg out of this.
Well, let's move it back to interval now, as we start to analyse that interval between Deflated and Greg.
Cod Camper as well, fair play, up in P4.
And he's holding his own. Steinos has been really impressive since he debuted in Monza.
Italy.
He got a P2 last week in Singapore, but the result was rightly voided. So Steinos is certainly very good. And Cod Camper right now is out of his DRS window. That guy does pit onto mediums.
He's getting 7/10.
Oh, Joseph's off at the Cassia Triangle, I believe they call it. And 10-10 is through into 6th.
We have a problem. I've lost my control.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. What else is noteworthy? Josh is recovering slightly into... he's into 8th place right now, but he has got ayahuasca on a brand new set of hard compound tyres right behind him. And Josh just doesn't seem like his normal self today.
This
I
doesn't seem it today, does it?
No, I don't know what it is. Top Gun's also putting himself in the hunt for some more points. He's currently holding 10th. He's got an 8-second gap behind to his teammates, so barring any mistakes, all of these people fighting right now should get some points.
I tell you what, I've never wanted someone to win a race so much as what I want Greg to win right now.
And
I
that
have
is
nothing against Deflated.
I was about to say that is by no means anything against Deflated, but Greg has been tantalisingly close to that first win this season before. And
difference last lap, 1.7 seconds.
well, the question not is if... Oh, has Ayers crashed? Is this going to be a safety car? Yes, it is! Oh. I imagine Deflated will be in. All of those who boxed initially for slicks.
Fourth will definitely stay out.
I imagine Steinos, 1010 Joseph, Top Gun will be in
dear.
next time around. Ooh, Padge, drive-through penalty. The 5th of the night. Aya, what happened, mate? Was it just not the normal final corner? Where you just lose a bit of grip and go into the... Were you trying to pit? What happened? Smaller Smiley's been brought back into this race. Onto a new set of hard compound tyres. Padge is not lapped. So that is good news for him. He does have to drive through. But if he can make some progress when he does service drive through, he will still be able to score points.
I'm sure Greg's extremely annoyed at the minute.
Yeah. There was a race earlier this year that I had, and the safety car came out, and it just ruined everything for me. And sometimes it just happens.
You can imagine how much time he was gaining. He was 100% going to finish.
Well, let's keep an eye on Deflated then. Does he pit?
Should be, I imagine.
Yes, he does. The question is, does Steinos pit?
Greg goes in. That guy stayed out. Cockamper stayed out. Steinos in. Anthony. Josh in. Hopkins in.
No surprises that all of those on worn tyres are in. A big surprise that Greg's in.
I think he's just worrying about the offset of tyre.
So if you think about what happened if Greg didn't pit, he'd be leading this race, and he's got Deflated 3 positions behind him on a brand new set of softs. So to be honest, I don't actually think this is a bad call from Greg, because if those tyres are good, he's pretty much guaranteed a P2 if he can get past that guy called Camper. So it'd be exactly where he was. So it's actually not a bad call from Greg.
So whatever Greg's done today is brilliant. And he's making sure now, and I'm sure everyone is, just not to get a lot of tyre wear on the tyres. Hunter's lost out a few positions down to P8 after being held behind Steinos. Steinos is on medium, which is interesting.
Yeah, there's still 10 laps to go. including the one they're on. So maybe Steiners doesn't quite think those soft tyres are going to be the quicker tyre for those 10 laps. Maybe he thinks the mediums will come back into the race. This race is poised rather beautifully, actually. We've got the title to think about. Deflated is currently only 3 positions ahead of his teammate, who qualified in 13th place. So
After a crash.
After a crash in Q1, so Josh here could be on for a large amount of points, whilst still struggling, I think it's fair to say. Maybe the TD curse is over for Josh. Maybe he's getting some good fortune now.
We're still in bad fortune in this race.
Well, I guess if he turns around and wins it, then can't really complain too much, can he? So the safety car will remain out until Padge has caught up, so it could take 2 laps. This safety car might be in.
The safety car does only stay out for 3 laps, so we've had 1 lap. This is the second one.
Yeah, I think it'll be in at the end of lap 20 anyways, but I think Padge will catch up. So, but he has got that drive through to serve. So Padge will need to serve that immediately and then hope there's another safety car to bring him back into contention. Oh, it's... I think it's at 27 or something.
Japan. Oh, okay, well, that's not getting beat. I was wondering whether Padge were going to try and get the lap record, but he's not going to beat it 27.6. I haven't done 27 in a race this week, so...
JJ believes Steinos has the best strategy right now on the brand new set of mediums.
Personally, I disagree.
In the opening few laps, he will find it difficult to hold off from Josh, Top Gun, 1010 and Joseph on those brand new softs. But if he can, and if he can stay with Greg, then there's all chance of him being able to possibly get on the podium tonight. But the hardest job for Steinos will be these couple opening laps on the restart.
Yeah, of my personal opinion, I think the people on the softs have the better strategy because the tyre offset is quite big on this track.
Josh Comeback deserves a driver of the day. I don't know. I think Greg. I think Greg right now is.
At the minute, it is Greg.
Because his strategy in the opening portion of this race has put him in a position to possibly win tonight. And without being disrespectful to Greg, he's not normally in winning situations, so I think Greg has absolutely smashed it tonight. And even if he does finish P2 and narrowly miss out on a win tonight, definitely deserves a shot for driver of the day. Small has just boxed for a brand new set of tyres. Not a bad idea at all. He's got 2 less laps of tyre wear to contend with. And Padge will catch up to the back of the pack. So safety car will be in this lap. We will get 7 laps to finish the Japanese Grand Prix tonight. And what we've seen TD in the past in AT1 is when there have been safety cars, it has caused drivers to be a little bit too eager,
impatient,
shall we say. So let's not assume, we can hope, but let's not assume that this is going to be plain sailing for anyone. Anything could happen.
Please.
Obviously for Deflated, he will be hoping to get past the 2 leaders with his quicker compound tyres and the fresher tyre life as quickly as possible and try and build a gap on Greg. Greg's job is to stay with Deflated. Those top 2's job is to defend like crazy.
It's going to be hard for the top two, I imagine.
I imagine we'll probably see some more aggressive moves from the likes of Josh, Top Gun, Ten, Joseph, down in that midfield, trying to get themselves into a possible podium situation. Deflated doesn't need to be too aggressive. It just needs to be patient. And here we go. 7 to go. And Deflated has got a really good exit out of the final corner. And he's got that move done on Cod Camper immediately. That is absolutely crucial. Steinos is the one challenging Greg, rather than Greg challenging Cod Camper right now. But Greg maintains 4th place through the first corner. It looks like everyone's got through okay, as Padge serves his drive through. And Deflated here looking all on the back of that guy. If he can get this move done this lap, and Greg is still battling in the background, you can see with Steinos, this is perfect news for for Deflated. And Greg is just screaming, "Go away, Steinos, I'm fighting for the win here." And you are just putting me off right now, but Greg needs to just forget what's behind him. Go forwards, get that move. That guy defending like a Trojan. Really good defence into Spoon. Deflator's looking for it.
Defending like a lion.
Deflator's using ERS. And that guy's giving him the space. Down the inside of 130R. Deflated takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. But how long can he keep it? No DRS, of course, until lap 3 after a restart. So Deflated here, if he can get a good lap under his belt, has put himself in prime position to not only win this but extend his championship lead. We got battling in the back between Jacob and Smaller Smiley, and Frog is in there as well. Oh, I wouldn't want to say how I think this race is going to go. Josh under pressure from Top Gun. How the tables have turned. Josh was battling Steinos into turn 1. Steinos has really gained on Greg through the first sector. Makes me think maybe Steinos has a bit more front wing on that car. Ooh. Jacobs spun at... Oh, and someone else is involved in that, I think. Smaller, sorry, not Jacob. Still all to play for. Deflated leads that guy by 1.2 seconds. DRS will be enabled next time around as Josh and Steinos battling. Will Josh go for it around the outside? Steinos positions his car perfectly. Hard defence, but a fair defence from Steinos in my opinion. Josh is already out of ERS. Top Gun here is using his. Looking to go around the outside of Josh. Josh gives him the space. Lovely move from Top Gun. Greg now just 3/10 behind Cod Camper. And he's got a bit of breathing room from Steinos behind. Greg is now the one on the attack. That guy, Cod Camper, still on the podium as things stand. A remarkable defence so far. Hey Venicus, how you doing, mate? Flashbacks of Kimi 2005. If I remembered, I would agree with you, but I'm sure you're right.
I'm 1 year old.
You were 1?
Yeah.
Gosh, I feel so old. I'll turn 29 in 2 weeks. So mad at yourself, or rather the game I should be mad at, says Avenicus for that. The drive-through disqualification, not serving it within 3 laps. That's what happened in case you missed it. There's a big fight going on here. That guy's at the front of the queue. And he's really holding Greg up here. Steinos. Oh, God, Camper looking for a move up the inside of that guy now. This is horrible news for Greg. So he's stuck behind two drivers who are fighting, and it's brought Steinos back into the fray here. Top Gun looking for a move around the outside of Steinos. He's now got 10-10 round his outside through Dunlop. They both get the space. Beautifully done. But 10-10 just has to back out of that one through the first egg nut. Amazingly, no time penalties. Watch someone get one now. As that goes Steinos. Looking for a move on Greg. Round the outside of the hairpin. Greg gets the initial traction. Steinos gets the better exit. And a beautiful move. Steinos up into fourth. Oh, Josh is off. Josh has lost ground. Someone went off at Spoon. I think that may have been Top Gun. And Joseph's through. Into P7. Greg now. Can he fight back? Steinos looks to be the one on the move right now. Those medium tyres are coming back to Steinos. Deflated has checked out. He's got a 3.3 second lead, as you can see. And he should win this race. Just needs to manage that gap. The more that these guys fight, the better this is for Deflated, as he just manages his tyres to the victory. Josh down in P8 will only score 4 points tonight. Deflated will gain another 20 points in the championship. 10-10 now battling Greg. It's been such a marvellous race from Greg, but just in this congested pack, Greg just hasn't... Maybe he hasn't got the confidence, or maybe the tyres...
Cod Camper didn't have the DRS on that guy, then he might have been able to get through, but because of double DRS, it makes it near impossible to try and get extreme across.
Well, I think it's safe to say this is the best battle we've seen in 81 all season. That's not because the other battles have been rubbish. This is wonderful to see. There may still be a final.
Steinos.
There may still be a final moment. Here comes Greg. Not far enough alongside. Backs out. 2 to go. Deflated's lead is now down by 0.6 of a second to 2.8. That guy's tyres are coming back to his aid.
Oh, 10-10 looking for a move on Greg. Backs out there. Oh, Joseph 3 seconds.
And Steinos 3 seconds as well.
Oh, that's going to be costly.
So Steinos won't be on the podium.
That'd put Steinos down to P9 at the moment.
And Joseph may drop out. Well, he's not going to drop out the points because Jacob's 4.6 behind this group. So, but Joseph will drop down to 9th as things stand. He needs to try and force someone else into getting a penalty as well. Deflated comes through 130R with a 3 second lead with 1 lap and a chicane to go. Don't think Deflated has put a single foot wrong tonight. It was an obvious strategy call to go on the hard compound when he did, but some reason that track just didn't dry quick enough. It allowed Greg the opportunity to maybe win this, as we've already said, but since that last safety car came out on lap 20, Deflated has just checked out. Oh, Steinos off the track at Dunlop. He keeps his foot in it. Oh, and he pushes Greg off. Oh, that's really poor.
That was extremely late move there by Steinos.
Oh, and Greg's going backwards as a result. I feel so sorry for Greg, man. That is not his fault. He's had to avoid an incident, slow down. He's got overtaken by Joseph and 1010 and now under huge pressure from Josh and Top Gun behind. If I was Greg, I'd be reporting that. Yeah, Steinos has the 3-second penalty already, so there's really no need to defend that hard. But we have seen that before from Steinos, so maybe he's just an overly aggressive racer. The battle still rages on behind. Deflated takes the checkered flag, wins in Suzuka, and extends his championship lead. A fantastic podium for that guy and Cod Camper as the penalties get taken into account. 1010 will finish 4th. Greg, who should potentially have won this race tonight, finishes in P5. Josh recovers to 6th. Top Gun from the back of the field in P7. Steinos and Joseph 8th and 9th with those 3-second time penalties. I imagine Joseph will want that 3-second removed because that's just what he does. Jacob finishes in the points. Frog had a fantastic qualifying but just didn't quite happen in the race for him. Will finish 11th. Can't remember who finished 12th. Smaller Smiley, I think, maybe. And then I think Padge finished in 13th place. Oh, Deflated ascends in his podium celebration and now will take the championship lead by another 18 points. Deflated officially, or provisionally, leads this championship by 31 points.
I'm going to say I'm too tired to do that, so I can't think of it.
With 6 races to go and a further 24 points on offer for sprint races. So that guy from 12th on the grid up into the podium with an unorthodox strategy, but it definitely worked for him and all to his credit, so could be up there with a driver of the day shot. Cod Camper, brilliant qualifying, brilliant race, onto the podium for only the 2nd time in his IIRL career. 1010, Greg, Josh, Top Gun, Steinos, Joseph and Jacob getting points. A few DNFs. Jellyman Tim crashed at Spoon. Venicus got disqualified for failing to serve a drive-through penalty off the start. And Aya crashing as well. Right, let's invite Deflated. Deflated. That guy and Cod Camper if they're around. I don't have that guy. That's awkward.
No, it's not good enough.
Why don't I have that guy?
How do you not have that guy? The poor man.
I've Cod Camper.
How dare you?
Let's invite him in. I would invite Greg.
Excuse
but,
me, Mr. Deflated, just keep your mouth quiet tomorrow.
Oh, sorry.
We wait to interview you.
Well, I can't invite that guy. That guy, if you're in the stream, please let me know and I'll try and get you in this party. But Deflated. Well, what an odd race. Talk us through quali firstly. That must have been tricky out there.
It was odd. It was every session was a different tyre comp band. So I was like, right, how do you adjust to this thing? First one was terrible because I had a dry setup. Q2 was fine. Then Q3 was fun because I was the only one with a dry setup. I was like, this works then.
And
I think I was like 5 miles an hour quicker than anyone else on the straight.
What was going through your mind on that So after Greg pitted onto new mediums and you were on like 7 or 8 lap old hards, and he was starting to close you down before the safety car came out, what was going through your head then?
But before that, when I realised, when we all pitted for slicks, I was thinking, surely everyone's going to do this, and if you haven't done it, then you're screwed. And then everyone needs to start, those four at the front, start pulling away, and it's like, they might, maybe they kept pulling away, they nearly pulled a pit stop, but that was terrifying. And then I saw Greg come out of medium, and it's just like, his pace was really good. He was 1.5 seconds that quicker than me. When that final safety car came out, I was like, I've been saved! Yeah! Because he was going to win.
Yeah, probably. And I think whenever Greg gets close to winning a race, the EA gods just come in and give you the win instead.
Something happens, yeah.
But yeah, it was extremely well managed from you. You made the move on CODs immediately on the restart, and then getting past that guy was less trickier with COD out of the way as well. But you extend the lead to 31 points in the championship tonight. How are you feeling for that first title?
PD, you come and stay in the rest of the 81 races. I was watching during the break and featured driver as well. I was like, oh, he's got both curses. Right, this works. Yeah, we'll have that.
Well, Josh recovered to P6, so it's a bit of damage limitation.
Yeah.
Keeps him in touch and distance.
But he has had the curse of qualifying and also losing his front wing in the race.
Oh,
did he? I didn't know. I didn't pay attention to his race.
That was why the second safety car came out.
And we have Qatar next week. Deflated thoughts.
It's terrible.
Fair enough.
Stinks.
Is that it? Cool, we'll move on. COD Camper, second podium in the league. How was that for you?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty good. Got my best qualifying, and yeah, just kept it clean pretty much. The whole race, people were going off in safety cars, and yeah.
Talk us through your season so far, because I think, as you said, best qualifying result, best race result. Yeah. So is this just the stars aligning for you? Was it just one of those
Probably the stars aligning, to be honest. Yeah, I say I had better pace than I usually do. And yeah, mostly luck with Jellyman went off. And they stayed intermediates for a long time, which helped. I think it was me, Greg, that guy, and you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just pretty much get a pit stop on the rest.
Well, full credit to you. As you say, best results of the season. What about Qatar next week?
I was defending for my life in the end. It all got calm when he got a penalty.
What about Qatar next week? What are your thoughts about that?
Don't get a 3-second penalty. I mean, it's gonna be. There's gonna be so many penalties.
Everyone's getting one.
It's also heavy on tyres and fuel, so yeah, just survive.
Well, surviving Qatar, I think that could be good advice for all of us. But,
I'm gonna end up like Ocon if I'm not careful.
Well, hopefully we don't get any of that. Hopefully we don't get any teammates colliding as well. But yeah, thank you, COD and Deflated, for joining us on the party after the race. We have 82 back on Sunday for the first time in 3 weeks. We will be at Japan. It will be crazy. I imagine all the 82 drivers are raring at the bit to get out there. We may see some frantic behaviour. Who knows? Join in on Sunday and watch. Any final comments from Tom Dog? Oh, we need a driver of the day. Who's driver of the day, Tom?
No, I am not deciding that now.
Sorry?
There's 3 people that could have it, so I'm not deciding that now.
Okay, we'll have a chat after the race. We'll pop it in the Discord.
Mate one, I'll flip a coin.
No.
I have a coin, buddy.
How are you going to flip a coin if there's 3 options?
I said eliminate one. Who deserves it the least?
My final words are the curse of TD commentating continues.
Well, join us for Qatar next week. It's going to be a really good one. First time we've raced on Qatar in this league, so it's new to everyone. As I say, join us on Sunday, and Tuesday will be no assist Qatar. So have a fantastic week, and we will see you on Sunday.